You want the wisdom from the cup of tea to kick us off?
Yeah. Yeah.
We all want to be understood, to be acknowledged, and to be loved.
Facts.
X.
That's a great kickoff.
Yep.
That is a great
Tea
kickoff.
wisdom.
I love that. My polar seltzer does not have wisdom. I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
Tea wisdom to me is kind of like fortune cookie-esque.
Yeah. In that meeting last week, one person in there, we ordered Chinese, and one person got measure twice, cut once as theirs.
As theirs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like some of them aren't fortunes, they're just statements.
Yeah. Lucky number. Blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. I'm not against any of that for the record, though. Like, whatever you need.
No, the universe will find you,
Yeah.
even if it's in a fortune cookie.
You just have to be willing to hear it.
Right.
Trying to plug my computer in.
Speaking of
Okay.
which, the topic, I'm the problem.
Yep. Okay. Well, before we jump into our topic, quick reminder if you happen to be new here, welcome to Enneagram Adventure. This is Tana and I's podcast where we talk about a lot of things, mostly through the lens of the Enneagram, sometimes
It's
not.
like,
But yeah, we love the Enneagram as a tool for growth, development, both personally and professionally. Anything you want to add?
it's a measurement of your core motivation, not your behavior. My weekly disclaimer. So, this is probably a good reminder for this topic as well that we're jumping into. But behavior is a big part of the conversation today. So, don't want to dismiss it, but
An
it's your why.
awareness. Yeah, it's your why. Yeah, the
It's
awareness
your
is a big
why.
part of the topic this week too.
Mhm.
So
Maybe I want to talk about an awareness topic because I had my first call with Brandon in a long time last week.
it's top of mind at the moment.
I felt very like an about face that happened. It's like I had my conversation with him and I'm like, oh shit.
I think it's easy to feel like you don't need that kind of work anymore. It could be any kind of, right? Like therapy, whatever. Like you get to a point where you're like, I feel pretty good. I think I'm good. Step away for a while. And then when you come back, you're like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I had one too many long, I think like Wednesday was my unlucky day for a while.
Every Wednesday for a
One
month.
too many long Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this week's topic comes from a social media post that we saw titled I'm the Problem. So maybe one more disclaimer. This might be triggering for some people, and that's okay. It's interesting that it's triggering. I will say that. If it triggers you, maybe question why it triggers you.
Yeah. Yep. The key
Maybe think
to
about that.
the key to that self-awareness work is to be really curious about it and find ownership if you can
Hmm.
in it. And if you need to sing Taylor Swift in your head while you're doing it, that's fine too.
Yeah, more than fine, actually. Recommended,
Yep.
some might say. Okay, so this social media post is from Aligned Soul Co. I think she has a podcast as well, if I remember correctly. Same but different podcasts. And she's got a course called Unfuck Your Type.
Perfect. We should be friends.
We should be friends. So this found me when I was particularly triggered by an 8 in my life that you and I both know. And it was this whole emotional journey of like, I read through the post and I'm like, yep, that's it. That is the problem with you, other person. And then I looked at my own and I was like, oh shit.
Isn't it that way though, where you're just like, dang it? Yeah.
I was feeling pretty perfect when I read the problem that I read about them, not me.
You're just gonna print this off and leave it on your desk.
Right. I'm just gonna just maybe a few copies in some places where I know you visit regularly, pay off the barista, give you a copy with your receipt for your coffee. I don't know. Like write it on like your Starbucks cup, like at Aligned Soul Co. host from. So I think we should start with 8 on that note. We don't usually start with 8s. So that might be fun. Okay. So Enneagram 8, I'm the problem. It's me. Oh, I'm not protecting people. I'm bulldozing them. I've been so focused on being strong that I've been crushing everyone's. Oh, I've been crushing everyone softer than me. My intensity isn't always passion. Sometimes it's accidental intimidation. I test people to see if they can handle me. And then I'm alone because, surprise, most people don't want to be constantly tested. I push until people break, and then I blame them for not being strong enough.
Yeah.
And then I was like, say it louder for the people in the back.
Yes. I think
I'm
eights.
married to an 8, so I could say that.
Yes. My mother is an 8. Lots of 8s in my life. I think that it was interesting to me the testing people part of it, and I see that pattern in 8s in my life. Like, are you willing to stick around when I'm being really in my type? I think that's the danger. I mean, there's a little bit as we go through all of these with that, but Suzanne Stabile talks about that a lot too, right? This like when you're really deep in your personality and you're like pushing on those kind of same patterns over and over and bringing yourself out of it. And yeah, we're going to say it 1,000 times on this podcast. It's about developing that awareness. Like, do you even notice when you're testing people, or are they already gone by the time that you figure that out?
And then it ends up as the vicious cycle, right? Because you proved yourself right. I see it with my husband a lot where it's he enjoys the like the tension of that, where if he has this really annoying way of like push, 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 poke, 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 poke until I absolutely lose my ever loving mind.
It's recreation for 8s.
Oh yeah, and what it sounds like when I lose my mind is like, I don't know what your problem is, but I'm not the one. Like,
Leave me out of it.
leave me out of it. I'm not interested in whatever game it is that you're playing to try to figure out, because he actually has also identified with that as affection. Isn't that interesting?
I was talking to somebody else about kind of their relationship with an 8. This is another 5 in their relationship with an 8, and they love this 8 counterpart. But one of the things they said, this is absolutely true, and I 100% agree with it, is that, to your point, it's the tension, but it's like the tension's kind of fun for them. Right? They kind of like the debate. They kind of like the argument. That's like fun. And and it, everyone around them is like exhausted by that, and they're like, no, this is great. Like, let's have the argument. Let's say the controversial thing and like have this like big moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, when we were talking through that, I was like, that's absolutely true. My mom, there's so many holidays or family get-togethers where she gonna push on that political button or that religious button or that
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
to just to get it going.
Mm-hmm. My sister-in-law talks about my husband in a way of like, God, he can really get on people's nerves, but he's always good for saying the thing that everyone is thinking.
That is also true of eights. They will always say that everybody's thinking it, nobody's saying it, they'll say it. They'll always say it.
It's I actually was joking with my husband one time and weird love languages came up and he's like, "Yeah, what do you like what is that?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure your love language is truth bombs." Just gonna leave this here.
Funny.
Like 100 grit sandpaper truth bombs, not like nice ones.
Oh,
The ones that are not fun.
right. I've been accused of that, but
I've seen you do it before,
brutally
but not
honest. Yeah.
when you do it and then then you don't say anything after. And sometimes, most times, it's in the form of a question. Have you ever noticed that? It's in the form of a question and it's a, "Yeah, but have you considered?" And I'm just gonna, whoop, I'll leave that there.
Hey, come here. Oh,
So
she just launched herself up here. Okay.
so that's eights.
So that's eights.
I would love to hear in the comments if this resonates with people too. So feel free. We can either go in reverse or we can jump around.
Whatever you maybe we should go to two,
Okay.
only because you said you wanted to give this to someone and then you read your own.
Oh, and then I read my own and I was like, ah, crap. Okay. Enneagram 2. I'm the problem. It's me. Wait, I've been keeping score this whole time, haven't I? Every text I sent first, every time I showed up when they didn't ask, everything I did for them. I've been building a case for why they owe me it and calling it love. I wasn't being selfless. I was buying my place. And now I'm hurt they didn't pay me back in the exact way that I wanted. 100% true. 100% true. I walk around with a currency that it's only mine. And I expect everyone else to have the same currency.
This is true. You do
It's like
say
my own
things like,
version of like
yes,
emotional Bitcoin.
yes, yes. I have heard you talk about if everyone could just be.
If everyone could just be more selfless,
I was
like,
thinking of you though, so I'll have to send it to you, but I was listening to this like it was kind of a short meditation with like some like music behind it or whatever. And part of it he's talking about not being attached to self, which is not what we're talking about right now, but it made me think of you because he does this part where he's like, it's like in basketball, all you do is give the ball away. And I,
yes,
yes. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
unless you're in first grade, because my Saturdays do not look like any passing going on. Everyone's out there to be LeBron James every Saturday in first grade.
Do they even know who LeBron James is in first grade?
Oh, yeah. They're still talking about Michael Jordan, actually.
Mm.
Giannis is a big deal. I don't remember who else he was talking about. It's a lot of bro, bro, bro. A lot of that.
First grade?
Yeah. Yeah. One kid did like there's like a dance. It's not a floss, it's like a new dance after he scored a basket. I almost peed my pants.
Have to make a field trip out of a first grade basketball game, I guess.
So funny. It's so funny. The first week and second week, kids were just dropping like flies. Like one would be like in the game on the court and just walk over to their parents. You see the parents get up and walk out and leave. Kids never coming back. I've
Awesome.
seen enough. I'm out.
Done. Okay. All right.
Okay. So yes, that I am the problem. I have emotional Bitcoin that no one else has access to, but I do expect you to figure that out, whatever it is. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. It's more the situations I find myself getting tripped up in are not so easily the keep score ones. They're low key the keep score, but they're not like face value keep score. I'm trying to think of an example that makes sense for that. I keep score with my husband all the time because it's like we have young kids and I'm a
Yeah.
mom. It's easy. I get up and I do the backpacks every morning. Shame on you. Oh my God. I'll think of one. I'll think of
Okay.
one. But
Okay.
all of that is very true for me. Resonates at 100% level. And my expectations of people are way too high. With, I think it's so obvious what I need. But I also don't like to talk about it unless I'm with people that I'm really close with. I'm like, feed me and tell me I'm pretty. I don't know.
Okay.
But if I'm not, it's a little harder at work because the work that I do is very, like, it's a service arm to a business. So it is a little keep score because I'm like, then recognize me.
And they can't.
Pat me on the back, pat me on the back.
That's
And they
funny.
can't.
And they can't.
Most of the time, it's not that they can't, they won't. In my head, which isn't true most times.
It's tough when you're in a situation where it's like you did a ton of work and you can't talk about it. Can't say anything about it. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
is really hard. That is really hard. I think that I supplement that at work in a way that's okay, these people really like the relationship that they have with me, so I must be doing a good job. Or it's oh, I just know if I come talk to you, I'll be able to figure it out. That's currency to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Because it's like that counselor, like teacher kind of vibe. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm the problem. Shall we go to 5?
Sure. You want to go to
Resonate
5?
5.
Am I reading 5 or are you reading 5?
I think it's better if you read it.
Oh, okay. Great. Great. Wait. I'm not protecting my energy. I'm just disappearing over and over. And then I'm confused when people stop trying. I've been calling it self preservation, but really, I'm just abandoning people. Every time things get too much, I vanish, and I expect everyone to just be there when I'm ready to come back. My boundaries look a lot like walls. I don't know if I 100% resonate with this one.
I was going to say, I don't, this doesn't sound like you to me.
No. This is another place where this is where the Enneagram gets really nuanced. And I think, again, being a one-to-one subtype has an impact on this. Now, I know fives that operate this way,
Sure.
right?
But
That
they're
this
not
is
very self-aware.
right.
If,
And,
yeah.
and I would say I do resonate with I'm protecting my energy. Um the self I call it self-preservation, but I'm just abandoning people. That part of it doesn't resonate with me very
Is it
much.
abandoning people or is it abandoning an energy that's like not serving you?
Well, I don't know if I'm following exactly what you're asking.
I've never really heard you. Like when you talk about like something that you're not digging, like if there's something going on that you're having a hard time with, it's never about the person. It's about the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I
Like I've
mean, it
never
could
heard you
be.
assign that to a human being.
Well, no, I guess I don't know. I don't know. If for for me, when I go in the 5 where I know I'm in the 5 and it's a problem, is more about like we talked about it a little bit last week, right? It's the shutting down, like I'm physically there, but I'm like mentally not there at all, or emotionally not there at all. It's like that's like the thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's like a
Um
disassociation from the
yeah, it's and a lot of, you know, you could say that's a form of protecting energy, right? Like I'm just going to like check out because I don't have the energy to deal
Mhm,
with whatever's happening in that particular moment.
mhm.
I do think I don't necessarily expect people to be there when I'm ready to come back. I assume they're gone forever. So like that's the whole, like if there is a situation where something where I leave a situation, I don't assume I'm ever coming back to that situation. Right? Like
Sure.
lit a match, burnt that bridge, like moving on. I'm not trying to go back.
Yeah,
Um but I do think that when I do have a very strong like runaway thing where if it's something gets particularly like I don't want to deal with it anymore, the answer that I go to in my head all of the time is to physically leave and never and then like not return to it, right? Like it's why this like whole idea of like living in a van, right? Selling everything and living by
yeah,
out of a van is appealing to me. It's the ability to just be like, see you later. I'm out.
sure.
But that is that part of it. The, you know, when it gets
Mhm.
it's yeah. I'm also a Sagittarius and I that's a Sagittarius thing also. So I don't know if fives that are
Interesting.
of a different astrological sign maybe don't feel the same way.
Could be. Could be.
So why don't we do 4?
Yeah, I was gonna say do far.
Okay. So Enneagram 4, I'm the problem. Oh no, I'm exhausting, aren't I? I've made my feelings everyone's responsibility. I need to be understood, but nothing anyone says is ever quite right. I've been using my depth to keep people at a distance. People aren't leaving because they don't get me. They're leaving because getting close to me feels impossible. I've been so focused on being seen that I stopped seeing anyone else. There's some of this one that actually resonates with me more.
Say more about that.
I've been using my depth to keep people at a distance.
Are you saying depth? Like,
It's for me, it's like the so in my fiveness, right? I don't resonate with making my feelings everyone's responsibility. But the part where it's like I'm using my depth to keep people at a distance, yep. People aren't leaving because they don't get me. They're leaving because getting close to me feels impossible. I think that both of those things.
interesting.
Have you ever seen the meme of Enneagram 5 and it's a door handle and the door handle is a cactus, but it says it's not locked?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
That's so interesting to me though, because I have a thing with fives, obviously. I do not have that same thing with sixes. Like a five, it's like I understand the depth easier
Yeah.
and I want to I want to verbally process through all of it. So it's fun
Yeah.
for me. But with a six, particularly a counterphobic six, I get cactus vibe. I'm like, ooh,
Well,
It's
counterphobic
not
sis
true
sick.
with it's not true with a like Laura. Like
Yeah.
instantly totally fine, but there's multiple confirmed counterphobic sixes that I know that initially I thought they definitely don't like me.
Well, we'll have to do 6 next. But when I think about this for 4s, I do think that a lot of 4s that believe that they exhaust people. And
Yeah,
I definitely have experienced 4s who are certain no one understands them and they want to be understood, but no matter how you talk to them about it, you can never quite get there with them. I think all that's true for them too.
there is
I don't
a couple fours that you and I know where if you replay what they said to you back to them in a here's what I hear you saying, it's like both of them do the same thing. They kind of look at you with like a little bit of a crooked face and they're like, yeah, like kinda, but like you're not really getting it.
yeah. Oh, I do love a 4 though.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, we're gonna go to 6 next.
Yep. 6. Okay. Enneagram 6. Oh no. I'm creating the exact chaos I'm trying to prevent. I've been testing people to see if they'll stay and then being shocked when the testing pushes them away. I look for problems until I find them. My worst case scenarios become self-fulfilling prophecies. My anxiety isn't protecting anyone. It's just making everyone else anxious too. I'm the instability. I don't think Laura would agree with this. Not all of it.
Not all of it. I do know this. I've been testing people to see if they'll stay. When it was in the 8, I thought that was interesting because I expected in the 6. But I have heard a 6 talk about like being mad because people weren't giving her what she needed, but she wasn't telling anybody what was going on in her life. And it was like a test to see if someone would ask the right question so that she could say the thing. But she wasn't just going to offer it up and be like, I need you to show up for me. It was more like, I'm just going to keep this to myself. And if somebody asks the right way, then I'll say something.
Sure.
And so that testing thing, I've definitely seen that. I think, that I'm creating the exact chaos I'm trying to prevent. What I think about in that, when I read that, is a little bit of it's that same my worst case scenarios become self-fulfilling prophecies, right? It's the suffering twice. 6s are right by playing out all of the things in the worst case possible. You create this internal chaos that you think you're preventing. I mean, you and
Right.
I talked, have interactions with a 6 who had a conversation with somebody and took it to the absolute worst possible place it could go without
Mhm.
having full information.
Mhm. Yeah. You know what's interesting about this is so my one of my best friends who's my cousin is a 6. I've talked about her on this podcast. She's got 2 kids and we had a like we grew up very close. And something that Brandon said this week to me about chaos being like homeostasis, like that's where I'm most comfortable. She has like one of the hardest jobs. Like she works for a nonprofit that works with kids who have been sexually abused or neglected. And like her her kiddos like have health stuff, and so I've always been curious about this, and now she's going back to school to be a social worker, like on top of all of it. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, you're an incredible human being. She like has the biggest heart in the world. I She has such high capacity that way, and I wonder if it's because of that chaos.
I think people who grew up in states of chaos tend to have, at least in my experience, pretty large work capacity.
Mhm. Yeah. I send that to her. See what she thinks. Okay. We haven't done nines.
9. Oh, I'm not keeping the peace. I'm just avoiding everything real. I've been saying yes when I mean no, agreeing when I actually disagree, going along to get along, and then quietly resenting everyone for not somehow knowing what I actually wanted. My silence isn't calm, it's just me disappearing while still being in the room. I'm not easy, I'm just absent.
Those are real zingers at the end, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Real
Mm-hmm.
zingers.
I think, well, one lens to think about with all of these is like this is describing every number sort of in their least healthy,
Mhm.
right? Like in the
Mhm. Mhm.
lowest point of their number. But I think that this is true living with a 9. There are breaking points where the quiet resentment becomes actual out loud passive aggressive resentment.
Mhm.
Um and the disappearing, and that definitely is a thing.
Yes. My sister is a 9, and I did send this one to her. And I believe her response was, "Oh, shit."
Yeah. It's just if nines can develop the awareness, that's one thing. Like I know some nines who are very aware, but they just choose not to do anything about it. Right? Like they still are in the pattern. Like, yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware that I'm just going along to get along. I'm aware that I'm saying yes when I mean no, but I'm
Yep.
still going to do it because I'm so scared of the ramifications of if I
Yep.
actually told you no, or,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, I know a 9 that is quite honestly infuriating because of this pattern,
Mhm.
where I think what came out of my mouth last week was like, "I need you to participate in something very real. I need you to lead it. I just need you to participate."
Yeah. And that 9 is generally a person of very few words also. So that goes back to the silence isn't necessarily calm.
My god. Oh, we still have 1s and 3s left.
Ones and threes.
We're doing okay on time.
Sevens. Sevens.
Oh, 1s, 3s, and 7s, okay.
Want to do
7?
7?
Yeah. Wait, I can't stay, can I? The second something gets heavy, I'm planning my exit. I've been calling it optimism, but I'm really just avoiding. Avoiding depth, avoiding pain, avoiding anything that asks me to sit still and feel something hard. People aren't boring. I'm just terrified of anything that isn't fun, and everyone's tired of being left.
I agree with some of this for sevens. And again, this is like them at their most healthy because I love us. And there's sevens when they're like super optimistic, they're wonderful. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're avoiding. But the when something gets heavy, I'm planning my exit. Yeah. Yep. I have yet to meet a 7 who doesn't like back out of the room if the topic gets too heavy, right? Like, no,
Yeah.
thank you. Moving on.
Right. Right.
Avoiding pain, avoiding anything that asks them to sit still. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just terrified of anything that isn't fun. Sometimes there are topics that aren't necessarily fun, but are required. And sometimes we need to not try to make them fun. Like sometimes the thing is just the thing.
Yeah. Or sometimes it needs to not be a joke, right? I have experienced that too with sevens, right? Where you're in a pretty serious conversation
Mm-hmm.
that needs to have a little weight. Like maybe it's an accountability conversation, or maybe it's a, you know, conversation about a pretty serious topic. And they can't help themselves but to crack a joke to try to lighten the mood.
Right.
And you're like, actually, that's inappropriate in this exact moment.
Right. Keston, my 4-year-old, listens to, we do a song every night before bed, and tonight was True Colors in the movie Trolls. And Poppy in Trolls, totally a 7. Totally a 7. She scrapbooks everything and is confetti and glitter and fun and hugs and songs. Anything that's bad actually isn't real.
I wish that was true.
Okay.
All right. 3.
Where are our
Okay.
threes? Okay. Hit it.
Nobody actually knows me. Not one person. Because I've been too busy being impressive to be real. I've performed my way through every relationship, and now I am successful and completely alone. I've been so focused on winning that I forgot to just be myself. I turned connection into competition, and I won everything except for what actually matters. I've turned connection into competition. I've seen that play out in real life.
Many times.
I've been so focused on winning, I forgot to be myself. I've seen that in threes.
I've been too busy being impressive to be real.
Yeah. So sorry, threes. If you can develop the awareness around these things, man, there's a way out of all of this,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. All of this like hits square for me for a couple of threes that I know. That can sometimes be very hard to get to know.
I've recently experienced with a 3 like a sharp pivot, which I've
Mm.
thought has been very interesting. So this 3, you know, been around this person for a couple years now. Have done the Enneagram with them in different groups a couple of times also. And always I just a little bit felt like this person sort of held me at arm's length, right? Like just was kind of right. And recently has pivoted to like being a little bit more personal and commenting on things and noticing things, and it's been a very interesting shift in this person. But I wonder if some of the what felt like arm's length didn't necessarily have anything to do with me, and I wouldn't claim that it did at all, but was that I'm busy being impressive.
Could be. It could be. If I am not in a very healthy space and I am spending time with a couple of threes that I know, I actually end up feeling like, well, clearly they don't think I'm smart enough and they don't respect me. So, whatever. But looking at it through this lens, it makes me like sad for them. Like, I'm sad that you feel like you have to perform or be anything other than yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of times when I read the 3 stuff, it does make me sad.
A lot of
Okay,
weight to carry.
it is. You ready to do one?
Yeah, last but certainly not least. Oh no, I'm not helping people improve. I'm just making everyone feel like they're constantly getting it wrong. my feedback is actually just me needing everyone to do things my way. And that thing I call high standards, yeah, it's just me being impossible to please for everyone, including myself, especially myself.
When I read this one, the I'm just making everyone feel like they're constantly getting it wrong. I don't want to say everyone that I know, but almost everyone that I know gives me that feeling. Like it's just, oh my goodness, I just got attacked by a dog. She like, sorry, that was like a total distraction. She like
You come
sprinted
like
in here and
flying out of
like,
nowhere,
yeah, like
body slammed
straight
you.
into me. Yeah. Now they're both in here. It's fine. Okay. So
Hi, Royce.
one, uh, the number one in my life that has always made me feel that way is my stepdad. It was always, right? Like nothing was
Mhm,
ever good
mhm.
enough. So I think that is just carried forward. And when we talk about, I think we've talked about this before, but if there's a number that is particularly like hard for me to like get in sync with, it's ones. I have a very hard time relating. Yeah.
That
And
part
there's a one
does.
that you and I both know who everybody who came into that person's orbit, he was like the ultimate prosecutor. No matter what you said, no matter what you did, it always felt
Mhm.
like it was wrong.
Yeah, that definitely resonates for the ones that I know. Sometimes I read it like from a less logical space and more of like a holy shit, you really need to have the last word, don't you? Like for everything.
Yeah.
Or the devil's advocate. Like sometimes that's just too hard for me.
I have noticed lately with a one that sometimes I interpret it as like a challenge,
Hmm.
like they're disagreeing with me. They're not disagreeing with me, but for some reason, it just like comes off that way. I'm like, I always have to be like, don't get defensive. Like that's the what goes through my mind is like, don't get defensive. Just like try to answer the question. And then when I answer the question, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I totally agree." And I'm always like, "Why did the question that you ask feel like such a like pointed challenge that you were going to make me defend my point?"
So funny. That just happened with me with the one that you and I know. He was asking me some questions and I'm getting more and more flustered with every passing question. And at one point, he says in the conversation, like, I get the sense that I'm upsetting you. And I started laughing. And I say, because you are. And they're like, well, that's not my intent. And I'm like, I know it's not your intent, but it feels like it is. Stop it.
It's been a couple and it's one of those moments too where I'm always surprised in the moment. Like I'm like, "Okay, stay calm, don't get defensive, just be really factual." And I just like finish my point. They're like, "Yeah, totally. I agree." And I'm like, I every time it's surprised like expecting the argument to keep going. But I think for me, the expectation for the argument to keep going is based on the growing up with a one and the
Hmm.
argument kept going, or I was just told I was flat wrong. Right.
Yep. Yep.
So,
For me, it's if this is the kind of conversation you want to have that can sometimes feel like an interrogation, I do not like the feeling of me needing to like extract information from somewhere in my brain to argue my point. I want you to tee me up with what's the thing. When applicable, give me some time to emotionally process it because I go from 0 to 60 in those situations so fast because I get so defensive. So when he, so when he said, I get the sense I'm upsetting you, it made me laugh because I was like, no shit. Are we both in the same room? I loved this one. Like, it's wonderful, which is why I can laugh in the moment and then be angry.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, you're pissing me off. Like, on purpose. Stop. And he's so wonderful, right? He's like, oh, I just want us to be better. I just want, I'm like, yeah, fucking, I know. I know you
Oh,
want to be better. That's not my problem.
you're the problem. It's you. Well, that's the I'm not helping people improve part.
Yes.
That's what they really want to be doing is helping people improve. But again, all of these that we read through were through the lens of somebody who's deep in their type and not necessarily healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that for at least the 10th time. But I do think that if there's like a chance that you listened to this and either went and read the post or looked it up or whatever, again, it's just about developing the awareness and like recognizing what's true for you and what you still have to work on. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we all got shit.
We're all the problem.
All of us, we're all in our own way.
Yep.
So that doesn't feel like the super positive note to end on, but the goal of this work is to get out of your own way.
We can all be better.
We can all be better.
Well, this was a good one.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as always, if you liked this podcast, we would love to have you share it with a friend. You can find us on all the platforms except for Facebook. Please like, subscribe, comment. Leave us some questions. Is there anything you're curious about that you want to know more about?
Yeah.
We'd love to answer those. And then we got to get some guests scheduled back on as well. So if you want to be
Thanks for
on the pod,
listening.
all the
Share it with all
things.
your friends and all the strangers you know, not
Yeah.
just your friends.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sally.
Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.